Hi everyone, welcome back! This week we're looking at books that are spooky but not scary and great for the Halloween October month. Getting right into it, I want you to know that I am not a scary reader. I don't like watching scary movies. The scariest that I would be willing to go is like Knives Out or Glass Onion, which is possibly even categorized as a comedy. And like if I'm really pushed, probably watching The Village would be like my scary movie, which I don't want to watch because it's too scary. So letting you know right now that these are not scary books, but they're spooky and they're fun to read during the Halloween season. Most of these books are also middle grade or YA books, and I think that that's such a sweet spot for the spooky not scary genre because they're written for children, number one, but there's still a lot of tension, there's still a lot of suspense, and you can still get that kind of like creepy vibe from them, somewhat surprisingly so, as you read. So anyway, I have several titles for you today that we're just gonna go through pretty quickly, and I'll pop their covers up on screen and you can let me know what your threshold of spookiness is. All right. First book that came to mind with a spooky but not scary story is called Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany Jackson. This book is not set in Halloween time or anything, but the twist is spooky, maybe a little creepy, or definitely creepy, maybe a little scary. And basically it takes place in, like suburbia, essentially. This girl is named Monday, and the friend has been noticing she hasn't been showing up to things. So the whole book is about where is Monday, and you get to learn a little bit about their families and such, and it's very disturbing. Enjoy. The next book that I would recommend for spooky, not scary is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Now, I've seen two different versions of this book. One has no illustrations and one has illustrations, and you're definitely going to want the one with illustrations. It looks like they're charcoal drawings of some kind. This book is amazing. It involves the internal struggle of a boy whose mother is diagnosed with some kind of what I think is cancer. It's been a little while since I've read it, but I remember being honestly a little creeped out because if you just let yourself go there, as the boy does, you can really get lost in the scariness of this monster that's calling. So A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, so good. One of my top, that would probably be my top recommended book on this list if you're gonna read a spooky, not scary book this Halloween season. Okay, so other books that are spooky, not scary, I would throw in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I loved the first two books in this series. I just ate them up. And then the third book, As Good as Dead, is as good as dead to me. I just did not finish it. I couldn't get into it. Why is the mom suddenly okay with Pip doing this? The dialogue seemed bad, forced. The whole scenario seemed forced. So anyway, the first two books were great. The third one, I didn't like, but I think it fits in here. You can definitely get creeped out if you want to go there with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Other books that's spooky, not scary, I would include Firekeeper's Daughter in here, and I have been waiting for a book rec video to just hype this book up because it is so good. And there are definitely disturbing parts in this. It takes place in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and it's about this indigenous girl and her relationship with her tribe and her family, and touches it more than touches on lost people and what does a community do when someone goes missing. What does someone she's trying to uncover this mystery within her family and within the community, and this stranger enters in. There are teenagers, so a new teenager comes to town, and he's a star hockey player. She loves hockey, and the protagonist, I forget her name right now. Anyway, so they kind of are working together on this. There's a lot of betrayal in this story, and some twists and turns at the end that will have you cringing and a little frightening. Could be. Again, we're at the spooky, not scary level, but definitely there is tension in this story. A perfect graphic novel for this time of year is Through the Woods, I believe it's called, by Emily Carroll. Amazing illustrations. It's just all red and black and white. I'm pretty sure there might be a little bit of yellow. It's a collection of short stories, and it's going like through the woods, so they all kind of are related to that forested area. And it's fun. If you, again, it's like with most of these things, if you let yourself go there and you want to be scared, you'll definitely get like a little bit of creepiness factor creeping up into you if you read this book like late at night in front of a dark window. That would be the perfect setting. Okay, another book that could be great for you at this time of year to read is Scar Island. This is by Gemeinhart. He's written many books. I've talked before about his Coyote Sunrise books, which are amazing, fantastic, sunshiny books. Not all on this list, but Scar Island is basically a retelling of Lord of the Flies, and it happens on this lighthouse, and these boys have to survive when all the adults are not around. So yeah, there's some creepy parts to it. It's good. Two short stories, actually 3 short stories I would recommend. 2 are by Edgar Allan Poe. I would recommend The Black Cat. Ooh, that's a good one to read out loud to your students. A good one to read out loud right before bed to get really scared. It's about Poe stories are always about like something under the floorboards that are like hearts beating, or you can hear their cry, or, and then you reveal them and there's this object. So this is called The Black Cat. And also, of course, The Telltale Heart. Such a classic for this time of year. Those are great stories to get you inspired if you want to write a short story, and if you want to kind of lean into, or even just a short scene you're interested in writing. Those are some good ones. They use repetition, they use tension, kind of like the unknown, the creeping bit by bit, the kind of sensory detail aspect. So those are some things you could keep in mind if you wanted to write as well. And then the other one, I'm gonna have to put the name here, what it is, and I want to say it's by Shirley Jackson, but I don't think so, because that's The Lottery, and that's not what I'm talking about. But this is a story about these 2 guys, and they're looking for a hotel, and they go to this hotel in the inn, and there's like a strange amount of taxidermy in the lobby, and the lady says, "Oh, come in, yes, I have room for you tonight." So they do. It's a cheap meal, and they say meals are included, tea is included, make yourself at home. And these guys are just kind of noticing some strange things, and something strange is afoot and does take place, and there's a twist at the end. So I don't remember what that is, but I'll put the name of it right here. So good. So creepy. So good and creepy. Okay, what other things? I'm now going to recommend books that are kind of classic creepies. I don't think I've read these books. Frankenstein? Where have I been? I don't know. I haven't read that, but I would recommend Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Let's get that on here. Coraline, Neil Gaiman. Again, like, I don't like scary things, so it's not really a surprise that I haven't read these, but I think these would also fit into the spooky, not scary category. They're classics, a couple of them, and then Coraline is written for middle grade. Okay, other books that I would recommend in the spooky, not scary genre that I have not read, that are new to me and relatively new in the world. Let's see, I'm looking at my list. Okay, first of all, this is super cute, but called Scary Stories for Young Foxes. Sign me up. I don't need to hear anything else. And I actually don't know very much else. I think it's short stories. But yeah, looks good. October. This is a new one to me. I don't know too much about it. I think the character's name is October. And yeah, honestly, I don't remember what else, but it looked good. And again, whenever I'm looking for new books, I'm not looking for popular books. I'm looking for books that seem like they have substance and it seems like they have a message and meaning behind them. So that's what these books are. So Scary Stories for Young Foxes, October. Small Spaces. This seems nice and creepy. Okay. I think Small Spaces is the cover where there's a school bus on the front, and then like you're like kind of looking through some some woods and stuff, and there's maybe like a pumpkin scarecrow. Yeah, anytime there's a school bus involved on like a slightly scary, with a slightly scary vibe, I think there's a lot of room to get really creepy. So anyway, that one I think is Small Spaces, if I'm remembering correctly. And then the last one that looked good to me was called Man-Made Monsters, and I think this is a book about, I think it takes place in some kind of tribal lands and has probably some commentary on like, yeah, man-made monsters, like the horrors that humans can produce or don't stop, or stuff like that. So wow, I kept that really short and really sweet, or I mean really short and really spooky. But I hope that you enjoy. There's not a lot of time left until Halloween, probably a couple weeks by the point that this video gets out. And yeah, maybe one of these will strike your fancy. Another nice thing about YA books and middle grade reads is that they're pretty short comparatively. They're digestible, but they still leave an impact, and they're still so good, and they can still be written in really high quality ways. So all of these books on here that I've read are that way, and the ones that I recommend to you, I'm pretty sure are gonna be that way. So enjoy, buckle up, and let yourself be a little bit spooked out this season. Maybe I'll do the same. Okay, have a great one, and happy reading!